Hello, everyone, and welcome to another interesting edition of the Facts, Issues, and Reality. Today with me, we have an amazing guest. This guest are youths, nothing else but youths, the Black youths in Windsor, and we're going to be having a very interesting time, discussing and just having fun. On my right, my extreme right, I have Farida Husman, who is in Walkerville Institute. She's a grade 9 student and I'm so happy she's here with us. I think Walkerville is a school of arts, right? Amazing. Now to my next right, I have Nadra Shubal, and Nadra is in grade 10 in Vincent Massey. And on my extreme right, just at the far corner there, we have Daniel Akimbino. Daniel is in St. Joseph's College and he's in grade 11. So guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you guys excited?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. So Farida, how has school been going?
It's been going well.
Well,
Yeah.
are you sure?
Yeah.
You have new friends because you're just in grade 9, right?
Yes.
So you have new friends, or you still keep your old friends from grade 8?
Most of my grade 8 classmates went to Kennedy. So
Oh, so you just went to Walkerville. Oh, so how is Walkerville for you?
it's been going alright.
Oh, you sure? What do you want to study? Why did you go to Walkerville? Because I know it's a school of arts.
Okay. I didn't go to Wakaville for the arts program, but I'm in the arts program
So what did you go to Walkerville for?
because it's close to my house.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. So Nadra, you're in grade 10. So what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an emergency doctor.
Oh, that's good. So you're going through the medical line then.
Yeah.
So how is school for you?
It's good. I think I'm doing pretty well.
Oh,
Except
that's really good to know. So Daniel is in grade 11. So Daniel, how was school for you?
School's been very stressful.
What do you mean stressful?
The first 2 years were okay. I kind of got the hang of it, but then I guess when grade 11 started, things became a little bit harder than I thought they would be. So I wasn't well prepared, but I'm starting to get used to that.
Oh, so because you're in grade 11 now, things are progressing, right? And it becomes tougher, which means even when you get into college or university, it's going to be more tougher. So I hope you guys are actually prepared for that, right?
Yeah.
So what do you want to be, Daniel, when you grow up?
Well, I'm looking more in the medical field. I want to become one of those sports doctors, someone, maybe even a surgeon.
Oh.
Be a surgeon.
Okay, that's good. What about you, Farida? What do you want to be when you grow up?
A software engineer.
A software engineer. Oh, that's good to know. But you're in the arts program. How are you going to be able to balance that with software engineering? Do you know?
No.
Not now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do anything related to arts in the future, just for now.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. So basically, what we do on the show is we try to portray the Black people in the city of Windsor. We try to portray them out to the world to see, what we're going through, how we're able to manage while migrating into a new environment, trying to break into the social, economic, even the workspace. I know you guys don't have to worry about work right now because I know your parents are really doing pretty well taking care of you. But I mean, in the future, it's someplace you're going to go through. So that's why we do the show. So again, I'm going to say welcome and thank you so much for having to join me. So right now, I'm going to ask you, they always say because we're people of color, we're Black people, we find things very limited to us. Is that the way you guys all feel? Maybe in your environment, in school, maybe within the community, do you feel like you're left out in something?
Yeah, sometimes.
Like what?
Sometimes in class, I feel like teacher tends to the white people more.
More
their
than
needs.
you.
Yeah.
Wow. So they don't they focus more on the white people than focusing on you.
Yes,
Wow,
sometimes.
that's really sad. What about you, Nadra?
I think we're doing better with the representation and the opportunities, but I still think finding a lot of Black representation, finding a lot of Black friends that I can relate to is a little harder than it was in elementary school.
So when you were in the little grades, like elementary school, you mentioned you had more Black friends than now that you're in college. Oh, wow. What about teachers? Do you have Black teachers? More Black teachers, though?
I've only seen 1 or 2 Black teachers
In your school? Well, what about you?
There's only 2.
Just 2 in the whole Walkerville?
Yeah.
Wow. What about you, Daniel?
There's only one.
Just 1 Black teacher. So that means we're not really represented in the school area. Wow, that's not good. So how do you feel about that, Daniel?
I mean, in some aspects, I don't feel very comfortable knowing that there's just one black teacher, I feel like we should have us blacks, especially those who once become teachers, should have the opportunity uh, to be able to work in such an environment.
Yes, I feel so too. And in the last election, we had about 4 black representatives, going in for school board. And I know basically about 2, were just elected. So I hope they're able to, break into that workforce and be able to get more representation of the black people, because it's really bad. I mean, when I'm going to school and I see that I don't have people of my same color with me, I don't think I would, feel very relaxed in school. So I'm going to ask you, have you at any time felt discriminated, Nadra?
Yeah, in elementary school, even though there was a lot of black people, I feel like there's a lot of negative stereotypes about like black people, and sometimes it was like a lot of the times it's in a negative way, and I didn't feel completely comfortable with that. And like, a lot of the times it's by white people who don't really know what they're doing, and it's just unfortunate.
But were you able to ever report any incidents?
Not really. I mean, the teachers would just like brush it off and be like, just...
Yeah, that's really sad. What about you, Daniel?
Well, it's kind of hard to explain, because for me, when I'm in school, I don't really like to focus so much on that. But there will be times where I really step back and I stop for a moment and notice a lot of these situations. Some could be, oh, maybe I had finished an assignment and I had handed it in and I had gotten my work back, and it's completely different from another person's, maybe a white man's work. His mark is higher than mine.
And you probably did the same thing, right?
Maybe not even the same. Maybe I had done more
than he did.
My work was more informative and it made more sense than his.
Wow. What about you, Frida?
I agree with Daniel, because there was this time in grade school, in English class, we were asked to write an essay, and mine was like really well done, but I felt like it wasn't that.
Yeah, Farida, that's true. I remember a story about, one of my sons, Michael. When he wanted to get into Walkerview, they had told us to submit, I think, 11 of his hard work original. And I remember submitting the 11, and they sent it back saying, we wanted Michael's original, not a photocopied or someone else's. And I wondered why they did that. So what we did was to let them know it was his original, but they said they were not accepting it, and that we had to do another one. So what we did was to actually record, because he had to have 11 different ones that he had done, but one, like the biggest masterpiece. So for the masterpiece, what we did was we had to record us going to buy the fruit, because it was someone that was supposed to hold the fruit and have him draw. So we recorded him going to buy the fruit, bringing the fruit back, they seeing me as the mom, sitting down, holding the apple and drawing. This took almost 3 hours. We got this done and we sent in the whole video to them, and that was when it was accepted. So I agree that, sometimes it could just even, seeing the name, that they would identify, oh, it's a black person. That's where discrimination comes from. Seeing you as a black person, they don't want to associate with you. That's where discrimination comes from. So I'm going to ask you, at any point that you've been discriminated, how have you handled it, Nadra?
I think most of the time I try to let the person know like how discrimination is not okay, and I try to educate them. But sometimes they just don't want to listen, and in that case, I can't really do anything. But I just know in the back of my mind that it isn't my fault, and that some people are just like that.
And that you've even tried to tell them,
yeah,
right? Because we've had kids that would come and say their parents, like the kid that bullied them or discriminated, their parents said that's what they told them, and those kids, they don't know anything rather than what their parents told them, and that's why they relate with, that they relate with you guys the way they relate with you. What about you, Frida?
With discrimination, I don't think I've been discrimination around my peers, but like sometimes the teachers. But like
the teachers?
Yeah, sometimes.
Wow.
So like I don't really do anything about it. I just like let it slide.
Just let it go. That's really sad. I know that about a week ago they were having a match in one of the schools. Is it John? One of the schools that the white teacher had used the word nigger.
John A. Campbell.
John A. Campbell.
A. Campbell.
Oh, they had, and they said the parents said they didn't want to see the teacher again, but she kept coming to school, and that was when they had the protest. So hopefully the teacher has been fired right now, and things have gone back to normal. I mean, we just always pray that we have a school free of bullying, discrimination, harassment, and just free and fun for everybody, right? So I know you guys integrated or migrated at one point or the other. How long have you been in Canada?
About a year.
Just a year?
Yeah.
Really? Just a year? Wow. What country did you migrate from?
Nigeria.
You were in Nigeria. How was it in Nigeria?
It was a lot of fun. Like, I think I preferred my classmates there than here.
To here. Oh, I know. I feel you, sweetie. I feel you. Oh, what about you, Nadra?
I came to Canada when I was 5. I think.
When you were 5, so you probably won't even remember a lot of things.
I remember a little bit though. There's some memories.
There's some memories that you. Oh, okay. But you still keep in touch with your friends. You do. Oh, that's really good to know. Wow. I know Daniel. Daniel, if you ask him, he would, for any vacation, he would always want to go back to Nigeria. Even though I'm not sure he remembers any of his friends because he was very little, but he just wants to go and eat some suya. What else do you want to eat?
Food.
He just wants to go back. That's good to know. But do you like this environment?
It's conducive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think more opportunities. Yeah, I think it's just.
What about you?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot more
Opportunities here. What about you, Daniel?
Well, I agree with both of them, but I find one problem is that I can't feel the sense of community in here in Canada than I would normally feel in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
If you see, like, I guess another Nigerian person, your approach to them will be very different. If you see a random white man, you wouldn't be all happy and joyful when you see a white man. But if you see a Nigerian, you're gonna slap their hand and talk to them. Try and get to know them because you feel a sense of
family belonging. Yes,
they don't even have to
agree.
Be biological. They can just be some random person.
I agree because I remember any friend that comes home to our house then with their children, automatically Daniel start calling them their cousins. We're cousins. I agree with you. I agree. You're right. So, would you have preferred to be here or to be back in Nigeria?
Oh. It's really tough because I think it's more of the opportunities. Like, that's just the reason why I prefer being here.
Yes, but you would agree with me that maybe maybe the major reason you relocated to Canada is because of you. Would you agree?
Yeah, my siblings and I.
That's it. Your siblings, and I think that goes for everyone. Because your parents just want the best for you. And more so, I mean, I'm from Nigeria, so I can tell a lot about insecurity and a lot of things happening there. So I know that one of the reasons we took that bold step, not because we were hungry, not because we were starving, not because we weren't doing well, but for the fact that we wanted the best for the children. So I think, your parents also did the best. So how have you been able to, like, find your own stance, find your own community, find your own people, find your own friends in Windsor?
To find friends in Windsor is really hard because, like, there are a lot of Nigerians in Windsor here. Like, when I was in Toronto, there were a lot of, like, Nigerians. There were, like, a lot of diversity in Toronto.
How long were you in Toronto?
It wasn't for a long time, like a few months.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's really hard to find friends in Windsor. But, like, at times, I just, like, mingle with people, like, of color, less than people with, like, of white people.
Of white people, yes. But what about you? You're a Muslim, right? What about, like, in your Muslim community? You should, I feel, if you don't have a community, find one right now.
Yeah, we do.
You do. So in your Muslim community, you should have more of, black people.
We're all Nigerians there. Like,
Perfect.
It's a Nigerian Muslim community.
Yeah.
Wow, the Nigerian. Well, that is. So you have friends and you have families. You have friends here, because what I always try to tell people is you have to create for yourself that community, because if anything happens to you, if anything goes wrong, they're your first families you should run to. So you have friends, so don't tell me you don't have friends.
No,
you have friends.
Well,
great.
It's easier to, like, mingle with people, like, in Nigeria.
Yes, yeah, that's what you just said. If you see a white person, you don't even know how to greet them, but if you see a Nigerian, you slam your hands, hug yourselves, and it's, what? I enjoyed you guys coming over. I enjoyed our discussion. I enjoyed everything. So lastly, what I'm going to end, what I'm going to end with you guys is, I always tell the black youth, never stop dreaming. It's okay to cry, it's okay to scream, it's okay to shout. There's so many opportunities. Don't always see a challenge as a problem. See it as an opportunity. Break the walls. Step up. Walk up. No matter what happens to you, no matter how much they try to pull you down, you know what? Just pick up that crown. Clean it. Put it back on your head. Put your head up high and keep moving. Okay? No matter what. I tell people that the sky is just the starting point for you youths. I believe that the youths are our own voices because, to be honest, we have lost our voices. We're no more heard. But when you guys speak, the world stands to listen. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate this youth time. I would always encourage everyone to get your facts, understand your issues, and focus on your reality. Thank you.